Hey tribe, I'm Lakisha from Lakisha Loves to Plant. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I just want to have a little conversation today. I don't have any planning or a haul or anything, but I just wanted to just share how I'm feeling right now. I'm just feeling really blessed and tired and hopeful and nervous all at the same time. For those of you who have been with me all this time on my channel, thank you so much. I don't really come on and tell my story a lot. I sneak a little in when I do my lives, but I really don't tell my story, and I'm feeling like just telling my story right now, in hopes that I can encourage some of you. So, if you don't know my background, I come from very humble beginnings. Just growing up really poor, just in an inner city food desert, drugs, crime, the whole nine. And I could remember as a little girl feeling like there was just something more to life, but I didn't really understand. I was in elementary school, but I can remember always looking out the window, even though I just said dirt outside my window. But I remember always just like looking out the window, hoping it was something better, and just trying to figure out like what that something better, meant for me. And I didn't know. In school, I took the path of doing what I really liked. I remember in middle school, I used to dance with my sister. We used to dance on stage. And I can remember we didn't have any clothes. We couldn't go buy clothes, the same kind of clothes. So I remember going over to my aunt's house, and she had two shirts. They were the same shirt, but two colors. So we wore those shirts and we danced. And I learned in middle school maybe that it's very important for me to like do stuff that I want to do. So many times we do stuff, because somebody else told us, like your mama told you should do this, or your grandmother told you should do this, and you just did it. But even when I'm growing up like poor and sometimes really hungry, I had the greatest mom in the world. Like, she was just very loving through any of it. I don't care if we were hungry. I don't care if I've just watched my mom, like, just sacrifice, just be creative. And she always say I solve problems, but I think I got it from her. So I don't think I've ever not felt loved, which is a privilege, because some people don't feel loved by their mom. Now, from other people, I feel unloved for sure, but not from my mom. And but my mom herself, she didn't even graduate from high school, so she gave me space, which I really didn't understand until I became a mom. Like, she just gave me space to be myself. And for me, when I had my own children, that became very difficult, because I want this for my kids, I want this for my kids, but I have to remember what my mom did for me. She gave me space, and so because she gave me that space, I felt comfortable going after what I really like. So fast forward to high school. In high school, I became a cheerleader. I saw the cheerleaders. I just really loved it. And I was unhappy in high school. My first year, I hated high school. I really did. I hated it so much. I would come home crying. And then the next year, I joined the cheerleader squad, and I dove deep into cheerleading so much that I became captain of the cheerleaders for like 2 years. And I can remember My coach was like everything to me. She helped me. I remember I didn't have enough money to get anything for the prom. I wasn't going to go to the prom. I didn't have money. And oh no, I'm about to cry. And um, my cheerleader coach, she helped me. She got my hair done and hooked me up with somebody who made a custom dress for me, and it was so amazing. And wait a minute, I'm just feeling really thankful right now to the people that God has put in my life the whole time, even when I didn't think I could do something. So I went to the prom. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't the perfect prom. My date made me mad, but it was fine. Then it was a class trip to Disneyland. I remember not having the money to do that, and my husband was my friend at the time, and he worked it out, gave me some money. I don't know what he did. I forgot what he did, but I ended up going to Disney World because of my husband helping me out. But he was my friend at the time. And then I went to college down in North Carolina at Johnson C. Smith. Shout out to Johnson C. Smith. For 1 year, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I became very lonely down there. I was the only one I was the first one in my family to go to college, so I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about college. I was like on my own in a foreign land, and it taught me a lot about how to be independent. And then after 1 year there, I just felt like it was something else I needed to do. I don't know. I've had these moments in my life where I just feel like it's something I need to do. So I transferred to George Washington University back up in D.C., came back home, ended up graduating from there with a teaching degree. I taught for a long time, for like 11 years. And then after 11 years, I started to feel like it was something more. Have you ever had those points in your life where you just feel like there's something more? I get those from time to time. And so after becoming an educator and a principal, I started to get the feeling again after years. Tack on another 5-6 years of being an administrator, and I wanted to do something more. And more for me was like what I was put on this earth to do. And a lot of people don't know what they were put on this earth to do, but I felt like God showed me what to do to figure that out. And when I say, if you ask God to show you what to do, and if you ask him what your purpose is, he will tell you. He will tell you, but you got to quiet yourself and listen. There was no way I was going to hear what God was telling me, just ripping and running and thinking and going. I had to sit in a quiet space. And that was hard for me for a long time because I did not love myself. I remember one of my friends asked me one time, she was like, why do you always have to stay busy? And that angered me when she asked me that. But I know now because I did not love myself. I did not feel like I was a worthy person. And so because of that, I stayed busy all the time. So when I see somebody that's really busy, my question is like the same question. Why are you always busy? So when I decided to stop and center myself and just decide that I was not going to make decisions without consulting God first, I started to hear my path. And I started to know when to go, when to make my own decisions, and when to be still. So I want to encourage you that, life may not be going the way you want it to go right now. It's hard out here, y'all. It's hard, but it ain't supposed to be easy. That's what we have to remember. We have to remember life was not ever guaranteed to be easy. So we have to be grateful for the easy moments because life is hard. But if you center yourself and get still, joy comes in the morning. So, moving past college, and I ended up graduating from college and getting my master's degree. I was so happy, and I ended up getting married and having children, and just really still struggling to find like who I was. So after being in education for a very long time, I started to study myself, and I started to interview other people about me. I took a lot of assessments about my personality, and it was like the only thing I had. It was like I was reaching and grabbing for like things to understand myself, because I knew I could do a lot of things, but I didn't know what was like the one thing I should do. That was like a very big internal struggle inside of me. Like, Lakisha, you can do anything, but what are you supposed to do? What did God put you here to do? Like, I didn't know. So after doing all the studying of myself, I realized that what people liked about me is coaching and advice and knowledge. I like to acquire knowledge, and I like to give knowledge. And at first I like downplayed it. I was like, well, that's not really a skill. It's not really a talent. But then I looked at my options, and I wasn't going to become a counselor, but then I saw life coaching. And so I ended up taking a life coaching course while I was a principal of a school, which was difficult in itself. And then I decided to write a book while I was a principal of a school. So all that happened while I was at another job. And I want to say that too, like, if you find yourself at a job that you want to transition out of, start thinking about how you can transition without transitioning. Like, how can you start thinking about another job while you're still at the other job? How can you transition out of that job while you're still there? Like, what can you do while you're still there that's for something else, that's not illegal, that doesn't compromise how you show up at work, but what else can you do? That was a lesson I learned too, that as people, if you really want to do something, you can do it. It doesn't matter how stressful the job is. If you really want to transition, find opportunities. I remember being a principal and like deciding to gather other principals together to talk to them about something, and I'm leading this talk. It was just like little opportunities on the job that I was using to improve and increase my coaching skills and capacity and learning about myself. So you can use your job to do that if it's appropriate. So after doing that, I started to get really unhappy with the work as a principal. I was good at it. I've turned around 2 schools. I've coached leaders, but within that job, I found that my love was coaching and teaching, and mentoring. So that was a gem for me to really find out that my heart was in the cultivating of other people. And I started to do that, and I started to notice that I was very effective at it, and I loved it. And let me tell you something, when you find something that you're really good at and you love it, you need to pursue that thing full force. What is something that you are really good at and you really love? Pursue that thing full force. So I became not obsessed, but really focused on pursuing that. Like, what is the thing that I really enjoy and I'm really effective at? Maybe that's why I've been put here on this earth. So I ended up leaving that job and getting a job closer to what I wanted to do. I ended up training people to be principals. That was fun. That was fun. And then I ended up in my day job where I am now, where I am a deputy chief, and I'm still training and learning and leading teams. I love all this stuff. But still, I have a calling outside of work. Like my life is not work. For some people, their life is work. I'm not knocking them. If you know your purpose is tied up in your work, that is amazing. But I know my purpose is also outside of my work. It's within and outside. It's within and outside. So outside of my job, I decided to pursue another avenue for myself. And this is like being a wife and being a mom and being a daughter. And this is in addition to all my roles. So I want to say, like, I just made the decision that this is also a priority. In addition to me being a wife, mother, daughter, whatever, friend, I want to be true to me. And that was a game changer in my life. And I just feel so grateful that I've had the opportunity to explore who I am without anybody else influencing that. It has been powerful for me coming from where I come from, growing up poor, not understanding if there's anything for me, not understanding my destiny, not knowing which direction I was going in, to be at this point now where I can say, you know what? I'm a business owner. I am the CEO of a business. It's priceless. It's like a dream come true. It's like, you know, for some people, that's like, oh, you just got a business, whatever. But for me, it's more than just a business. I have a business doing what I'm passionate about and what I'm effective at. A lot of people can't say that. So, and I'm fortunate to have friends who support this part of me. That's so, it's so overwhelming to me that I have friends that support this part of me that's so authentic. The coaching part of me and the teaching part of me is like the deep part of me. And to have friends to support that, and to have family who say, you know what, whatever you want to do, Lakisha, we're right there with you. And to have family saying, you know what, I'm going to help. How do you want me to help you? That's priceless. That's priceless. And I never thought I would be able to get to this point. And it feels really good. It feels really good. And I'm feeling somber at this point because I just like did my taxes for my business, and it was like amazing. Even the tax lady was like, "You made a profit." I was like, "I did? Oh my God." Like, this is just a small win for something greater. Have you ever just knew without a shadow of a doubt that something greater was on the horizon? Like, it's beyond faith. It's like a knowing. It's like a spiritual knowing that something greater is about to happen, and you are so ready for it. I can remember a time I would be afraid of the greater, like, Jesus, what is this? I don't know. This is overwhelming. I don't think I can handle this. Like, I'm past that point. I'm like just sitting and waiting for the inevitable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for me, I think I'm sitting and I'm waiting for the inevitable, and it's not far. It's coming. It's like the universe is here, I'm here, and it's about to be a clash. So it's orchestrated by God. It's because I think my relationship with God is more than just going to church. Oh, it's so deeper than that. It's like He's my compass. It's like God is my compass. He tells me where to go, what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And when I have a problem, He tells me how to solve the problem. It's like it's beyond a normal person's understanding of spirituality with God. And it's overwhelming, and I'm grateful, and I'm honored, and I'm humbled that God decided to make me His leader and make me His coach. And, you know, He is my employer for my destiny. He employed me into my destiny, if that makes sense. So I want to do everything he wants me to do. If it's not what he wants me to do, I say, Lord, I don't want to do it. Please don't. I don't want to do it. I don't want to make decisions myself that's not on your trajectory for me as your employee, Lord. Like, I don't want to do it. So being on this channel, I have 2 YouTube channels, this one and Success My Way Academy. I'm sorry, Success My Way Coaching with Lakisha. Success My Way Coaching with Lakisha is my life coaching channel, and Lakisha Loves to Plan is my hobby channel, which they both collide. I teach people how to life plan in my coaching, and I love to plan myself. This has been part of the piece of me that is passionate and effective. And to even have you listening to me right now is like a blessing, because I'm just little Keisha that grew up in the hood, who nobody understood. Everybody thought they knew me, and they did not know me. I'm the same Lakisha that grew up with a lot of love and a lot of turmoil, a lot of experiences, and a lot of hurt. People hurt me a lot. A lot of people hurt me a lot. And I know I want to talk to all of you out there, like, it's part of the process. I want to encourage you, like, it's part of the process to be hurt and to be disappointed. It's going to continue to happen over and over and over again. It's going to just keep happening. Like, even now, as I'm somber and I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, I feel super blessed right now, I'm having problems. Like, and I'm hurt over some things. But it's all right. Like, it's totally okay. Because it's all temporary. Like, I've never had a problem that lasted my whole life, unless it's like a health problem or something like that. But I'm talking about like situation, finances, people. Like, I've never had a problem that lasted a lifetime unless I held on to it. Now, if I held on to it, thanks. If I held on to it, that would be the problem. That would be the reason why the problem stayed. So I had to learn how to let go and let God, and I had to forgive, really forgive. I was fake forgiving people. You can't fake forgive. You got to really forgive. Like, really say, I understand why you did it, and it hurt me to my core, but I'm going to love you anyway. Like, to get to that point takes time, and you can do it. So I just want to say that if you are out there and you're feeling discouraged and hopeless, if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, if you feel like you just have problems piled on top of each other, one after another, this thing happened, this thing happened, I want to say that it's temporary. It may not feel like it is. It's not going to feel like it's temporary. It's going to feel like it's going to happen for the rest of your life. It's going to make you want to end your life. Like, I've been there. I've been there where I feel like there was no hope. It was like I was done. As a human being, I was done. But that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a trick of the enemy trying to get me to not reach my potential in God. Don't let the enemy win. Don't let him win. He's a liar and a dirtbag. Don't let him win. Like, you just think of life as like a mountain. And you start at this point as a baby. Then you get to this like climax of the mountain where you're ready to just end it all. But then on the other side of the mountain, you think you're going to go down. But you just stay up. And you realize that you had to get to the climax in order to see that the other side of the mountain wasn't the same. It is not the same. It is so different. And so beyond your expectations. And, that's why I think God said, wait. Wait, I say on the Lord, wait. He said, wait on me. Because he knows, he sees that the other side of the mountain is a different texture. It has different hills and crevices. God already sees that. And if you can just wait on him, he's going to show you what the other side of the mountain looks like. So I say all that to say I am truly honored and blessed that you are even still listening to me right now. Because if I let the enemy say it, I'm nobody, I'm nothing, I'm never going to be nothing, I'm never going to reach my destiny, I'm never going to get out of debt, I'm never going to become what I'm supposed to become. Let the enemy tell it. And I know this, I know it was a fight. It was a fight. I was fighting something beyond this world to get to where I am now. And where I am now, he can't touch me. Like the enemy can't touch me. He can't touch me. I think the enemy might get scared if he walk past my house. He might start running. He can't touch me. Like I'm on track to be what God has put me on earth to be. As a matter of fact, I think I'm already doing it, just not at the scale. It's not at the scale yet, but it's coming. And it's a blessing to be here. And I'm so grateful. And his promises are yes and amen. Like he's going to say yes. And my life is going to be a big amen. When my life ends, it's going to be a big amen. And I don't believe anything else but that. Call me a fool. Call me unrealistic. Call me dumb. Call me crazy. But I don't believe anything but the fact that I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do on this earth before I get called to heaven. I know I am. I know I am. It's inevitable. And I know you can too. So I just wanted to encourage you today with my story and my thinking and my beliefs, and to let you know who I am beyond the coaching, beyond the planning. I'm just a human being like everybody else, trying to do what is good and right for others and for myself. All right. Thank y'all for listening. Comment below on anything you heard me say today. This is a little different video, but I just felt compelled to come on here and talk to you about me so you can get to know me a little better. All right, y'all. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you're blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.